Would you be able to assist with this drive time? Because person needs to be on a bench. You not catch
No, I went. So I went inside it. Slightly more social.
Yeah, we should work as a team.
That would definitely add in. Okay? No problem.
Julian Assange!
Everyone who's standing in the middle,
Can we start moving to the side?
You're blocking the crossway. You should get over here. Have all? I think Jamie's wrapped up down her arm. Hi, I met Jill yesterday. Yeah. This is my friend Sharon. Hi, nice to meet you. I've had some. They're great. Oh my I'm going to look them up anytime. They're fantastic. Yeah. Yes. And we have an Irish supporter too. He's a drummer. And he brought, and I saw him last night. I saw Jim. Oh, he was fine. But he was just so he's describing how he got off hiding his job. It's the African, what do you call it? Yeah, no, that wasn't a problem. The one that she very good. Yes, so she just was so sharp.
So we're waiting briefly for Julian Assange and Chris Parkinson and our supporters to open in the courts to come out. As soon as they do, we'll be forming up in the bus lane this side and getting ready to march. So very shortly, get your march. 100 old. It's a heritage of the trade union movement in this country, and the reason that it's here today is because the last time it was outside this building, the last time it was outside the Royal Courts of Justice, it was because Ricky Tomlinson and Des Warren, the Shrewsbury Two, had come out and were convicted and sent to jail for being pickets in an industrial dispute. Eventually, their case, after more than 40 years, was quashed and they were proven innocent. Although while he was in prison, Des Warren resisted the prison regime, was repeatedly injected with a liquid cosh, and suffered and died later of Parkinson's disease, partly induced by his treatment in prison. And the reason that's important is because it reminds us that the struggle for justice is long. How long and hard you fight, eventually you can. As the Shrewsbury pickets had their convictions quashed, we are determined that it will not take that long for justice for Julian Assange. That we will still there is justice for Julian Assange. So now take the road, line up here, behind the banners, behind the Samba band. Very shortly, when Stella Assange and the others come out of court, we'll be ready to march. So take the road now, line up, get ready to march.
Stella comes out. We will give her a rapturous round of applause and free good, etc. You can all go over there and march to the house to Downing Street. Thank you very much. It's an honour to be amongst you. We are the cause of public opinion. We have far more than what's been happening for the last 5 years in the British judiciary. It's a sham. Maybe you're listening to us today. So thank you for having made us listen to our cause. So when Stella comes out, we'll give her a round of applause and then we'll march. And the police, under the direction of the Royal Borough Labour Party Council, and that's the same party when it's the military defeat in Afghanistan and Iraq, once a bunch of Afghani women have the airport for taking. So I think wherever Julian Assange is, there should be a 24/7 vigil. I shouldn't be the only one doing it. I'm going to go back to Australia because my mum is poor health. If you want to support that vigil, I spent 5 months under Julian's window at the Ecuador Embassy, and they took him 7 hours after I left for the first time to get a passport in Dublin. Got banned from Australia House over there. And so we can have a roster system. We can develop a strong support network in Woolwich, and I can do a handover to the people before I split the city up. Okay, so if you're interested in that, see me later. Thank you. And we need to be beseeching King Charles III to exercise his royal prerogative to release Julian Assange, because Sunak is the crown taking his orders from DC like Albanese. And Queen Elizabeth exercised her royal prerogative to release Marion Price after a French throat to her. And if you write to King Charles III beseeching him to exercise his royal prerogative, his PA will write back. So spread that word. Thank you. I'd like to take off my journalist hat for 1 second. I know a few of you recognise me. I started out as a protester for Assange for a trial of ordeal. It is clear there is no such thing as free speech. But we have to remember that free speech is our natural right. It's not a right given by government. It is a right that we get from nature. And it's recognized in our Magna Carta. The Americans laid it out in their constitution. If only our governments would live up to it. I'm very concerned, Keir Starmer, when you look at Labour in the polls. This man, with his complicity, may become the next Prime Minister. So, without my journalist hat on, I would like you to do everything you can to not just smash Labour and make sure they're defeated at the next election, but to destroy the entire uniparty system. Thank you very much.
Vor der Tür.
Okay, guys.
Are you ready to march? Are you ready to march to free Julian Assange? Are you ready to march for a free press? Are you ready to march for freedom of speech? We're just getting the people onto the front banner now. There's going to be statements from a stage like this at Downing Street. We want to be as close to the MPs, as close to the Prime Minister as we can. Free Assange now! Free Assange now! Get ready to march! There's only one decision! There's only one decision! There's only one decision!
With Stella leading.
Stella Assange, don't ship them again, you'll ship them off the front banner of this demonstration. It's followed by the trade union banner of the ETU. Are you ready to march with them? We will be marching in 10, 9, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 1.
Julian Assange! Assange! UK! Hands off Assange! UK! Hands off Assange! Hands off Assange!
Siamo a Trafalgar Square.
back, folks. I'll take the demonstration in now.
There's only one decision.
US, UK.
US, UK, hands off Assange. US, UK, hands off Assange.
Then it's a little.
Let me introduce myself. My name's
Welcome to Downing Street. Free Assange. Can the demonstration move on to the side here? Demonstration, move to your left. Move to your left onto the area here. You move to your left onto the area here. Just move to the left onto the area here, that'd be great. Move to the left, please. You see the ETU banner there. Thanks for coming. Move on to the pavement. Croydon Trades Council banner. Move on to the pavement. Thanks very much. Guys, follow these banners. You see the big banner with Julian Assange's face. Just follow that banner onto the side here. Just follow the EPPU banner onto the side here. The Samba Band, thank you very much. Just move on to the pavement here, plenty of road. The Samba Band, move on to the pavement, that'd be great. Just move to your left, that'd be fantastic. That was fantastic. Thank you so much to the PCS Samba Band.
Richard, you're up.
Oh, Richard, you haven't done it.
Thank you so much for all your support. Free Assange! Free Assange! Free Assange! And now I want to introduce our first speaker this evening, Richard Medhurst. He's been going through the work of the Assange campaign. He's been reporting on the trials. Do read his account of what's been happening in court. Richard! Look at you! Look at all of you! Look at all of you! Wonderful. You know, I got to admit, I'm kind of sick and tired. I've been sitting all day listening to the CIA argue why, you know, Assange is a criminal and exposing war crimes is apparently a criminal offense. How boring and disgusting that they come into our courtrooms and tell us, you know, that they want to give Julian Assange a walloping. They want to prosecute him with U.S. laws, but no protections under U.S. laws. So you can try him with the Extradition Act, with the Espionage Act, where he gets no. What kind of rubbish is that? What kind of rubbish is that? You need to understand something. A lot of you are holding Palestine flags, and it makes me very happy because these two things are not disconnected. They are connected. The same people that are prosecuting Assange are the same people bombing Gaza. You need to understand that. These are the same corporations, the same banks, the same arms dealers that put Julian Assange in jail. They're the same people that killed 130 journalists in Gaza. This is a war on journalism. And it's against the people covering the case as well. They make it impossible to get in the courtroom. They make it impossible to hear what's going on. How the hell do they have £1 million per missile to shoot down Yemeni drones, but they can't fix the microphones in the bloody courtroom? What the hell is that? Are you serious, man? What is this? They really want us to believe they can't fund the NHS, they can't fix the transport, all of this crumbling where they got time to go make wars and kill people? Rubbish! 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 Absolute rubbish. You need to understand something as well.
this case, this is a violation of UK sovereignty. The Americans have no business coming here. The extradition treaty says you cannot take someone to the United States. That is what the law says. You cannot send someone to the United States for a political offense. You can't do it. And they're playing a double game here. They think that, you know, we're just going to okay this. No, you guys coming out here, this is an act of resistance. You being here, you raising your voice, you coming out with the drums, you know, chanting, that's an act of resistance. And when Julian Assange was being taken out of the embassy, he said, resist. He said, UK resist. So he asks that, guys, do you understand? You have to keep resisting. You have to make your voices heard. Because that's the one thing that they do not have. They don't have numbers. Yeah, they've got money, they've got bonds, they don't have numbers in power. Do you understand? They have no power in numbers. That belongs to all of you. So you have to keep coming out, you have to keep showing your support for Julian and keep showing your support for Palestine. Free, free Julian Assange! Free, free Julian! Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Thank you very much.
Thanks very much. Thank you very much. Now I'm going to introduce the next speaker, Ben Westwood. Vivian Westwood is a fantastic campaigner for this cause. Ben is a fantastic campaigner for this cause. Please give him a warm welcome.
Yeah, exactly. My name is Ben Westwood. Unfortunately, my mother Vivian is not here today. She was a close friend to Julian Assange and a long-term campaigner for a free press and against his extradition to the United States for the crime of revealing American war crimes, which included torturing prisoners of war and shooting unarmed civilians, not to mention revealing that the CIA can spy on you through your TV and smartphones. Julian is a lovely man. I've met him. He's a human being revealing the truth for us all. He is a real hero. Julian has been in Belmarsh maximum security prison for nearly 5 years now, and he got married to his partner Stella Assange there. But Julian wasn't allowed to be shown in his Vivian Westwood kilt, wedding kilt, because you could see his painfully thin legs brought about by his treatment, which UN Special Rapporteur Niels Mesler has described as torture. Unfortunately, this issue is not just about the injustice perpetrated to Julian. This is about our collective democratic right to real facts and truth. In a true democracy, the people need unrestricted access to facts and information in order to make informed choices. As Julian has said, the aim of war is not to win it, it's to have a never-ending war. War is a great way to launder the public's money into private hands and to maintain sources of cheap natural resources and cheap human labour for the profit god. Afghanistan and Iraq were great successes for them, and now it's Ukraine, Gaza, and the next project, China. Loads of money rolling in, not to mention for the Western contractors awarded the contracts to repair the damage caused. The fact that Julian is being charged with the crime of espionage is very telling. During times of war, public information can be restricted. Are we at war? Conducting one war after another continuously since the end of the Second World War. Now they are trying to step into our country's law. If this appeal fails, America can disregard the laws of any other countries. Why is our government disregarding our own laws to suit America? What happened to Magna Carta? What happened to habeas corpus? Now I feel even more disgusted to be British. What are you doing to our country? A friend of my mother coined an acronym, a pill called NIMSDOL, used to control the world's populations. It stands for National Idolatry, Non-Stop Distraction. The mainstream press is controlled and lies by omission and misinformation. They just don't do reports on something that is being hidden, as in Julian's case. When they do report, it has a bias. Now you hardly hear about the war in Ukraine. All the men there with no arms and legs for the rest of their lives. Gaza is just a background story now. All those people buried under the rubble. War journalism is strictly under control these days. No war photographers like Don McCullin allowed to take photos on the front line anymore. They learned that. The case against Assange is the final end of the pretext that democracy exists. If he is convicted, it is the beginning of darkness for us all. The attack on Julian Assange is also an attack on us. Next time this could be you.
Yes! Yes!
Thanks very much. Now listen, we need you all to be safe, so there's plenty of room over this side. Can you all move to your left so that people can come out of the road and be safely onto the pavement? Just move over, please. Thanks very much. I can see you moving. Please do that. Come on to the pavement, guys. It's night time. It's Whitehall. We want you to be safe. Come on over this side.
Save us from the politicians!
It's not really within my power just for the moment. Although it's a good safety.
We do like being in the way zone.
Okay. Now I'm sure that you've all been waiting to hear from Stella Assange about her impressions, both about what's happened in the court and about what we should do next. So please do give her a very warm welcome. She's been through the hell of that court case for the last two days, and she wants to be with you here tonight. Stella Assange.
Wow, you guys are amazing. Not just the turnout this evening coming here to Downing Street, but also over the past 48 hours. It's been incredible. Every time I got to court, I was greeted by this incredible supportive crowd that was cheering us on, and I told Julian all about how much support he has, and also how much attention the media has given this case this time around. The world is watching. And finally, there's a realization about what this is really about, which is an attack on the truth, an attack on the public's right to know, and a country's attempt to further their impunity and their cover-ups and continue to kill with impunity without the threat of a media that will scrutinize them, of a public that will demand change. That cannot stand. Everything turns on the outcome of this case. Whether states can criminalize journalism and put journalists in prison like they've been doing in the UK with an Australian citizen, a publisher who's won many, many awards for his journalism, and they've stuck him in the deepest, darkest hole of the UK prison system, and the US threatens to put him in the deepest, darkest hole of the US prison system for 175 years.
No!
Shame. Julian's imprisonment is a result of people with too much power who lost the plot, who got power thirsty and are guilty. They know they're guilty and they want to continue to live their lives without any consequences for the crimes they've committed. This case is about whether state crimes can continue unpunished, unscrutinized. Julian's freedom is the only antidote. We don't have a decision today. Julian's life is at severe risk every single day he is in prison. He is a political prisoner. He is the world's most famous political prisoner. We know what happened to the other most famous political prisoner last week. That cannot happen to Julian. It cannot be allowed to happen. The world is watching. Julian has to be freed. Now, whatever happens in the coming days, we can't know. But we can know that we will be there for Julian. And be there for our own democracy, our own future, our own ability to change policy, to change decisions, to change governments. Because if there's no scrutiny, we can't be informed. We can't be able to change, make an informed decision about who we elect. Our rights are at stake, but Julian's life is at stake. If he is extradited, he will lose his life. He will be killed. He will be killed by the country that has been plotting his assassination. And the court heard how the United States, under the previous administration, which may be the next administration, had plotted to assassinate him, who had plotted to poison him, who had plotted to kidnap him, who had plotted to rendition him. Shame. Shame on those who put journalists in prison. Shame on those who murder journalists. Shame on those who are afraid of the truth. That's not a society I want to live in. We're better than that. The UK courts are also under scrutiny. They have heard about the murder plots against my husband. They are on notice that the country that is trying to extradite him has planned to murder him. They don't deny it. They just change the subject. The whole time we were in court, the other side somehow avoided to talk about what the documents Julian published revealed. They didn't talk about the war crimes. They didn't talk about the 15,000 civilian killings in Iraq that were revealed. They didn't talk about their torture and rendition program. They didn't talk about Guantanamo Bay. They simply changed the subject. Shame. This case is brought by criminals who want to maintain their impunity, who want to avoid the courts. They are the fugitives from justice, not Julian. Julian is justice. He is transparency. He is us. He is the public. And as long as Julian remains in prison, we're all in prison. And they are free. It cannot be.
Free Assange!
Free Assange! Be there for Julian. He would be there for you. He is there for you. He needs to be freed. Free Assange!
Free Assange, free! Free Assange! And my next speaker has observed these hearings in the Assange case for Reporters Without Borders. Please give a warm welcome to Rebecca Vincent.
In particular, since the superseding indictment was issued. Again, we're seeing attempts to make exceptions for Julian Assange. Why his human rights don't matter. Why normal protections for journalists don't matter. We've heard this before. We heard how even though they knew his state of mental health, they knew his risk of suicide, how, oh no, it would be okay, send him here anyways. Now we're seeing that in an attempt to distance the journalistic community from him and all of us. But let me be very clear, this case is about journalism, it is about press freedom. If they make an exception of Julian Assange, the rule will be broken, and no one, no publisher, no journalistic source, no media organization can ever be confident that their rights will be respected again. We will see an immediate and distinct chilling effect, in particular on national security reporting. This is absolutely about journalism. We are deeply concerned for Julian Assange's current situation. This is the first time he was granted permission to attend court in 3 years. So the fact that he wasn't there speaks volumes about his current situation. The fact that he couldn't even attend online tells us how he's feeling. I saw him myself in prison a few weeks ago with a broken rib, in pain, and coughing a lot from a respiratory illness. So we're concerned about his physical health as well as his mental health. So while this case is being decided in these courts, and while the strings are being pulled 4,000 miles away in Washington, D.C., this man is in a prison cell tonight, a few miles from us here. We must remember him. We must not let his situation deteriorate further. So we still hope that at this late stage there can be some justice delivered from the British system. The world is watching. And if not here, then Strasbourg. And it is imperative that if these courts fail to protect journalism and press freedom by protecting Julian Assange, it is imperative that his right to appeal to the European Court of Human Rights is respected, abides by its European Convention obligations, and that no move is made to extradite him whilst that process is ongoing. It is essential. If this country is going to stand for the rule of law, they must abide by this, by their international obligations. And we are here at Downing Street. This is still within the UK's power to do the right thing, but let's not let Washington off the hook. I hope you're watching from across the ocean as well. This is a political case, and if justice isn't possible here in the British courts, our call still remains on the Biden administration to drop these charges, to close this case. A political solution could be found. It is a question of political will. Either. Our call remains to free Assange. And there is only one decision: no extradition.
Thank you, Rebecca. And there is no one who's reported as effectively, has campaigned as effectively for Julian Assange as Craig Murray.
Thank you, everyone. It's absolutely wonderful to see you all. And I want to start off by thanking from the bottom of our hearts all of you who have stood out in the cold and the rain this last 2 days to support Julian Assange. It's been a really, really fantastic effort. Thank you. And we are a community that shows the sort of democracy that Julian dreams of, where freedom of information empowers people and puts power back from the hands of politicians into the hands of the people. And I see here people I have been seeing for more than 10 years, people who I saw standing in the cold and the wet outside the Ecuadorian embassy, people I saw day in, day night who have been campaigning. And it has not been without effect. We have turned around public opinion on Julian Assange and on this case. And we have done that to the extent that the establishment now have to listen. And today in the court, I sat there in the courtroom, I wish you could all have been there, because firstly, Julian's legal team did a fantastic job. And secondly, I saw something I would not have said in 5 years of these legal processes. For the first time, I saw judges who were actually listening intelligently and paying attention to what the defence says. And we have done that. We have done that because they can no longer ignore us. They can us. And we heard in the UK court, we heard Julian's defence outline the war crimes of the United States. We heard lawyers, eminent KCs, speak to the bench and talk of massacre, and talk of torture, and talk of drone killings, and talk of killings of journalists, and talk of systematic war crimes committed by the United States and its allies, and what Julian has done to expose that. You know, yesterday in the United Nations, the United States vetoed a ceasefire resolution on Gaza, and the United Kingdom, as its cowardly little henchman, abstained alongside it. And we are fighting the same thing. We have here the United States trying to destroy Julian Assange, and the United Kingdom as its cowardly little henchman, keeping him in Belmarsh jail. We will not stand for it. This will not last. It is essential to the freedom of all of us that Julian is released, because he stands for freedom of information and for the right of people to know what governments are secretly doing in their name and with their resources. We are in a global battle, and it is a battle which is turning, and a battle will win, and it's a battle fundamentally for the very kind of society we wish to live in. Thank you very much.
Thanks very much, Craig. And now for the speech of this evening, very pleased to welcome back to the podium the organiser of the Free Assange campaign in the United States, Vince Stefano.
Thank you, John. Brothers and sisters, I stand before you in shame for the government that represents me. Quote the words of President Joe Biden stated on May 3rd, World Press Freedom Day. Journalists, uncover the truth. Check the abuse of power. Demand transparency from those in power. They are indispensable to the functioning of democracy. He and his administration go forward and say that journalism is not a crime. Those words are ashes in their mouth. The utter hypocrisy of my government shines in that courtroom. And it is incumbent upon us, all of us, to say no to the hegemony of the United States, say no to the Biden administration, and say yes to the freedom of journalists and journalism around the world. Julian must be free. Free Assange! Free Assange now! Thank you all.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you for demonstrating for the last 2 days. You've been outside that court for 2 days. You've done it absolutely brilliantly. And nothing that we say from this platform is as important as you being there. Every speaker on this platform is simply a mirror for the protesters and the demonstrators and the activists who are fighting to free Julian Assange. So stay strong, and stay mobilised, and stay fighting. And remember, one of the slogans, one of the oldest slogans in the business of popular mobilisation is educate, agitate, mobilise. Take that home with you, continue to do it, stay safe, stay fighting, solidarity.
reassuring. Yeah, keep active. Email your MP. This is really good videos of peace.